Wuthering Waves version 3.5 is completely rewriting the rules of the game, and if you are not prepared for the absolute massive shift in account economy and combat mechanics, you are going to fall significantly behind. We are talking about a potential complete structural overhaul to the gacha system that fundamentally alters pull value, a ground-up rebuild of the team menu rendering engine, and the introduction of split perspective narrative, questing to deepen the core loop. By the end of this video, I am going to show you exactly how to leverage these new systems to maximize your account's efficiency, and I will give you a definitive, honest conclusion on whether this update actually solves the game's endgame progression problem, or if it is just surface-level bait designed to drain your resources. Save up to 24% on your top-ups using Loot Bar. It's a solid way to save money. For example, the 6,480 Lunites pack costs around $76 on Loot Bar compared to $100 in-game. The top-up process is very straightforward. Just pick your pack, log in through their single-use cloud device, redeem it in-game exactly like the official store, and then log out. Loot Bar is widely used and has tens of thousands of reviews on Trustpilot, making it one of the most trusted platforms for in-game top-ups. Link to Loot Bar is in the description. Now, to be completely transparent, this first major point is pure leak territory and is still actively shifting behind the scenes in the beta, but early data means heavily suggest a massive structural change to the gacha discount menu arriving in 3.5. We are not just talking about generic standard login events here. The early information points to a localized banner reduction system or a discounted pull mechanic. Exactly how this will be implemented, whether it alters the mathematical pity thresholds on specific limited banners, applies solely to standard banners, or introduces a completely different currency exchange, remains completely unknown for now. If implemented optimally, this alters the pull value of every single estate on your account, acting as the biggest overarching quality of life improvement we have seen since the launch of the game. However, here is the honest value caveat you need to hear right now. Kuro Games is not introducing an economy discount just out of pure generosity. We are entering a highly saturated release schedule between patches 3.5 and 3.8, expecting a massive influx of top-tier, meta-defining characters. This discount system is highly likely a calculated economy drain, specifically designed to bait your premium reserves right before a truly game-breaking luxury pull drops. I highly advise you not to blindly dump your currency into this discount system the second it goes live until we can fully analyze the exact mathematical scaling and see what the drip marketing looks like for the preceding patches. I will be covering the exact optimal pull strategy as soon as that data is officially confirmed. Moving from what is heavily speculated to what is structurally confirmed, the version 3.5 interface is receiving a complete top-to-bottom engine overhaul, specifically targeting the team selection menu. They are completely stripping out the standard static interface that we currently use and replacing it with fully rendered, three-dimensional character models integrated directly alongside dynamic camera movements. What makes this highly impressive from a rendering and presentation standpoint is that every single character and every specific slot position on the team contains unique kinematic activations. If you slot Yang Yang into your primary support role on one side and place Chongli into the sub-DPS slot on the opposite end, the engine dynamically generates entirely different physical poses, bespoke character animations, and specific camera angles tailored to their kit identities. From the early beta client previews, this makes the menu interaction feel infinitely more responsive and alive compared to the rigid UI we have right now. There is also active speculation that background environment customization could be rolled out later to further expand on this. But for those of you running on lower-end mobile devices, who are rightfully worried about asset loading latencies and memory bloat, the current static menu will reportedly remain as an optional settings toggle, giving players the choice between high-fidelity immersion and raw menu optimization. Here is what is officially locked in for your auditory and narrative immersion, and it is a feature very few games in this space actually manage to execute. Kuro is injecting a massive quality-of-life update into the audio systems, allowing for completely individual dubbing languages on a per-resonator basis. You can theoretically map the Japanese voice pack directly to one character, utilize the Chinese voice pack for another unit, and leave English on rover, all firing simultaneously during your optimal team rotations. The only mechanical limitation here is designed to preserve the synchronized lip-syncing and emotional pacing of the core engine. These customized audio parameters only apply to your non-story dialogue, combat barks, and overworld exploration. The pre-rendered story cutscenes will strictly default to your global system language. Now, before we transition straight into the massive overworld movement tech updates, we are rapidly approaching a significant milestone on the channel. To celebrate hitting 300 subscribers, I am giving away a full Lunite subscription to one lucky viewer. Entering is incredibly straightforward. All you need to do is leave a like on this video, make sure you are actively subscribed to the channel, and drop your account UID along with your current server region down in the comments below. But to keep the platform's algorithm happy and ensure your entry does not just get automatically flagged as raw bot spam, you also need to answer this specific question within your comment. Which exact 3.5 character or quality of life feature are you planning to save your newly discounted pulls for? I will be personally auditing the comment section to pick the winner the exact moment we cross that subscriber threshold, so lock in your entries now. Speaking of the core narrative and game design, version 3.5 integrates a brand new task-splitting structural mechanic. During specific points in the main storyline, instead of being hardlocked to Rover's singular point of view, the quest engine now allows you to actively select different character portraits on the UI. This allows you to choose exactly which character's perspective timeline you want to experience first. To be clear, this does not mathematically alter the story's final outcome or create branching consequences. What it does is drastically improve session depth and immersion by allowing you to piece together the world building from distinct tactical viewpoints, actively changing the camera angles and narrative focus rather than forcing you down a singular linear track. Let us pivot to overworld traversal, specifically the motorcycle mount mechanics, because the movement tech is getting a massive ceiling increase that will completely alter how you navigate the map. Version 3.5 introduces a dedicated kinetic drift mode specifically for the motorcycle. When you enter this new kinetic burst state, the handling parameters are dramatically sharpened, allowing for high-speed drifting and significantly improved overall cornering controls. But more importantly, the beta data shows the addition of a brand new customizable physical component called wings. This module completely unlocks vertical scaling, allowing you to actually fly and glide directly from the mount itself, effectively linking ground momentum straight into aerial traversal. They are pairing this structural upgrade with dedicated mount skins, including a confirmed yin-yang variant and a highly detailed Mingzhou-themed chassis model. If you hate the new handling physics, you can easily toggle the kinetic drift feature completely off inside the settings menu. However, honestly, mastering this new momentum tech and utilizing the flight mechanics is going to be absolutely mandatory for optimizing your daily eco farming routes and clearing the map efficiently. On top of the mount skins, we are also seeing data confirming that new individual cosmetic accessories for the resonators are currently planned to drop in the 3.5 cycle, adding another layer of visual progression to your roster. On the absolute hardcore combat side of the game, the End State Matrix, our localized elusive realm game mode, is rotating in a massive wave of specific character buffs. We are seeing entirely new kit-enhancing multipliers and modifiers implemented for units like Camellia, as well as a large portion of the older roster. But we need to look at the severe meta-critique here. While it is undeniably great to see these crazy synergy locks and roguelike modifiers supercharging these older characters inside the Matrix, this progression is heavily isolated. These buffs are permanently locked strictly to this specific game mode and do absolutely zero to fix the base game scaling issues. If a 1.0 or 2.0 unit is mathematically falling off in the Tower of Adversity because their base multipliers simply cannot keep up with the new meta, an isolated Matrix buff does not salvage their actual overarching account value. It is an incredibly fun distraction, and it is great for farming out the mode's rewards, but do not mistake this temporary power spike for a permanent balance patch. We desperately need to see these kinds of sweeping fundamental multiplier adjustments applied to the core game content. To round out the session economy and the event loop, the highly optimized freeze-frame action highlights Battle Photo event is officially making its return to perfectly pair with the visual spectacle of the Mingzhou expansion. This was incredibly well received during its initial run, and bringing it back is an easy win for community engagement. But the most aggressive player acquisition strategy Kuro is deploying this patch is a brand new 7-day onboarding event specifically targeting fresh accounts starting in version 3.5. This isn't just a generic resource strip. The rewards are mathematically insane. New players logging in will instantly secure a completely free copy of Verena. Let me be perfectly clear, even this deep into the game's lifecycle, Verena's universal attack scaling, her cheat death passive mechanic, and her team-wide off-field amplification make her statistically dominant over almost every other premium support character currently available. Handing her out for free, alongside a free copy of the incredible 4-star sub-DPS Sanhua, 12 standard pulls, 4 limited pulls, and a 5-star weapon supply chest is an absolutely devastating value injection for anyone jumping into the game for the first time. However, for veteran players, this event feels incredibly hollow. If you have been grinding perfectly since launch, a free standard unit that you likely already have completely maxed out on resonance chains does not effectively reward your long-term loyalty, and that lack of high-end veteran retention incentives is a major friction point Kuro needs to address quickly. Ultimately, version 3.5 is shaping up to be a highly aggressive, structurally impressive update aimed heavily at completely refining the foundational engine, improving quality of life, and aggressively onboarding new players right before the massive Mingzhou expansion truly opens up. Because version 3.4 is explicitly a shortened 30-day transitional patch, this 3.5 lifecycle is accelerating fast. We should expect the official livestream confirmation detailing everything we just covered before the end of this month. I need to know exactly how you are currently optimizing your accounts for this massive shift, so drop your exact estate reserves and pull strategies in the comments right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to lock in your optimal Wuthering Waves progression, and I will catch you guys in the next deep dive.